Did you know there is a hormone that almost no standard blood test checks after 60, and that its collapse is directly destroying your energy, your mood, your memory, and your intimate life? Not one of these things. All four, simultaneously, and the reason your doctor has never mentioned it is simply that it is almost never on the standard panel. Today, I am going to tell you exactly what this hormone is, why it matters more than almost anything else being measured in your blood right now, and the precise natural protocol that begins restoring it within weeks. This is one of the most important videos I have made for women over 60. Please watch it to the end. Hello, I am Dr. William Harrison, a gynecologist specializing in women's intimate health after menopause. Before we go further, write in the comments "never heard of it" if this is completely new to you, or write "check mine" if you are already thinking about asking your doctor to test your levels. I read every comment and your response helps me understand what this community needs most. The hormone I am talking about is DHEA, dihydroepiandrosterone. I know that is a long name, but I want you to remember it, because it may be the most important 3 letters your doctor has never mentioned to you. DHEA is produced primarily by your adrenal glands, 2 small glands that sit on top of your kidneys. It is often called the mother hormone because your body uses it as the raw material to manufacture both estrogen and testosterone. Every cell in your body that produces a sex hormone starts with DHEA. It is the upstream source. Without adequate DHEA, your body's ability to produce estrogen and testosterone, regardless of how well your ovaries or adrenal glands are otherwise functioning, is fundamentally compromised. Here is what makes DHEA unique among all the hormones that decline with age. The decline is not gradual and modest, it is dramatic and early. DHEA production peaks in your mid-20s. By the time you reach 60, your levels have typically fallen to between 10% and 20% of their peak value. That is an 80 to 90% decline. No other hormone in the human body experiences this magnitude of decline over the same time frame. Not estrogen, not progesterone, not even cortisol. DHEA collapses more completely, more consistently, and earlier than any other hormone you are likely to have discussed with your doctor. And yet it is almost never measured in a standard blood panel. The standard menopausal hormone panel checks estrogen, FSH, and sometimes progesterone. Comprehensive panels might add thyroid function, but DHEA, the upstream precursor that your body uses to make those very hormones, is routinely omitted. The result is that millions of women over 60 walk around with severely depleted DHEA levels, experiencing the full cascade of consequences, and are told their hormones are fine because the downstream products were measured while the source was ignored entirely. If this is already making you feel that you have been missing a crucial piece of information, please subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. I share this kind of clinically grounded, practically actionable women's health information that most standard appointments simply do not have time to cover. Before I walk you through what depleted DHEA does to your body, I want to tell you about a patient I will call Helen. She came to see me at 64 describing what she called a complete personality change. She had been energetic and motivated her entire adult life. But since 62, she felt, her exact words, like someone had turned the dimmer switch down on everything. Her energy was at 30% of what it had been. Her mood was flat. Not depressed exactly, but joyless. She had no interest in intimacy whatsoever. Her standard blood panel had been checked twice in 3 years and declared normal both times. I checked her DHEA-S. It was 18 micrograms per deciliter, severely deficient. I put her on the complete protocol. At 8 weeks, her DHEA-S had risen to 67. She came back and said, "I feel like myself again." The dimmer switch came back on. That is what we are working toward for you today. Here is what severely depleted DHEA actually does to your body. And I will be direct because I want to get you to the solutions quickly. First, energy collapse. DHEA directly supports mitochondrial function, your cellular energy production. When it drops, you experience a fatigue that sleep does not fix, a fog that coffee does not clear. This is not laziness. This is cellular. Second, mood dysregulation. DHEA acts as a neurosteroid. It directly supports dopamine and serotonin production in your brain. When it collapses, emotional flatness, disproportionate irritability, and loss of daily joy follow. Studies show a direct correlation between low DHEA and depression scores in postmenopausal women. Third, brain fog and memory gaps. DHEA receptors are densely concentrated in the hippocampus, your memory and cognitive clarity center. Word-finding difficulty, short-term memory gaps, mental slowness, these are not just aging, they are often DHEA deficiency. Fourth, intimate life collapse. Your vaginal cells, skin cells, and nerve cells all convert DHEA into estrogen and testosterone locally. When DHEA is depleted, this local production fails, contributing directly to vaginal atrophy, lost desire, and reduced sensation. Even women on standard HRT sometimes remain symptomatic because this upstream source was never addressed. Now, let us talk about what actually fixes this. The natural protocol has 3 components: nutritional support, stress reduction, and targeted supplementation, and all 3 work together as a system. The nutritional component comes first because it is both the foundation and the most immediate intervention. Your adrenal glands, which produce DHEA, are highly sensitive to nutritional status. 3 specific nutritional priorities support DHEA production directly. The first is healthy fat intake. Your adrenal glands manufacture DHEA from cholesterol, specifically from the type of cholesterol derived from healthy dietary fats. Avocado, olive oil, fatty fish, nuts, and eggs are the primary sources. Women who follow very low-fat diets after 60, often in a well-intentioned effort to protect cardiovascular health, frequently inadvertently deprive their adrenal glands of the raw material needed for DHEA synthesis. Include at least 2 servings of healthy fat daily. The second nutritional priority is zinc. Zinc is a direct cofactor for the enzyme that converts cholesterol precursors into DHEA. The richest dietary sources are pumpkin seeds, beef, oysters, lentils, and hemp seeds. 2 tablespoons of pumpkin seeds daily provides meaningful zinc support. The third nutritional priority is vitamin C. Your adrenal glands have the highest concentration of vitamin C of any organ in the body. Vitamin C is essential for adrenal function and DHEA production. Aim for at least 500 milligrams daily from food or supplementation. Bell peppers, kiwi, strawberries, and citrus are excellent sources. The stress reduction component is equally critical, and here I need to be direct about something that many women resist hearing. Chronic stress is the single most powerful suppressor of DHEA production in the human body. When your adrenal glands are chronically engaged in producing cortisol, the stress hormone, they have diminished capacity to produce DHEA. This is called the cortisol DHEA steal. When your adrenal system is constantly prioritizing cortisol production, D or HEA production is systematically suppressed. The women I see with the most severely depleted DHEA levels are almost invariably women carrying the highest chronic stress loads. Caregivers, women with sleep disorders, women managing significant life pressures without adequate support. Addressing chronic stress is not optional in this protocol. It is as pharmacologically relevant as any supplement. The specific stress reduction intervention I recommend for this protocol is a daily 10-minute practice of slow diaphragmatic breathing, inhaling for 4 counts, holding for 4 counts, exhaling for 6 counts. This specific breathing pattern has been shown in multiple studies to measurably reduce cortisol within a single session, and with daily practice over 4 to 6 weeks, it demonstrably reduces baseline cortisol levels and allows the cortisol DHEA balance to shift back toward DHEA production. 10 minutes, every day. Before you check your phone in the morning, if possible, because morning cortisol is naturally elevated and this is the most impactful time to intervene. The supplementation component requires a conversation with your physician before implementation, and I want to be clear about that. DHEA supplements are available over the counter in many countries, but DHEA is a powerful hormone precursor, and supplementation should be guided by actual blood level measurement. Ask your doctor to measure your DHEAS level, the sulfated form of DHEA, which is the standard clinical measurement. Normal ranges for women over 60 are between 35 and 200 micrograms per deciliter. Many women in this age group test below 35, severely deficient. If your levels are low, your doctor can guide appropriate supplementation. The typically studied doses in clinical trials range from 25 to 50 milligrams daily for women, taken in the morning with food. Do not self-supplement at higher doses without medical guidance, because DHEA converts to both estrogen and testosterone. Excess supplementation can cause unwanted effects. Beyond DHEA supplementation itself, 2 additional supplements have strong clinical evidence for supporting DHEA production naturally. Ashwagandha, specifically the KSM66 extract at 300 to 600 milligrams daily, has been shown in randomized controlled trials to reduce cortisol by up to 28% and directly support DHEA-S levels in women over 60. It addresses the cortisol-DHEA steal mechanism from the supplementation side. Rhodiola rosea at 200 to 400 milligrams daily is an adaptogenic herb that improves adrenal resilience, enhances energy production at the mitochondrial level, and has direct antidepressant effects through dopamine and serotonin pathway support. Both are well tolerated, widely available, and have meaningful clinical evidence behind them specifically in postmenopausal women. The honest timeline for this protocol is as follows. In weeks 1 and 2, the most noticeable early change is typically in sleep quality. DHEA supports deeper sleep architecture, and many women report this improvement before any other change. In weeks 3 and 4, energy begins to improve, not dramatically, but consistently. The cellular fog begins to lift. In weeks 5 and 6, mood and emotional resilience improve noticeably. The flatness begins to resolve. In weeks 7 and 8, with DHEA levels rising, the downstream effects on intimate desire and vaginal tissue health begin to emerge. This is a slower recovery than the energy and mood changes, because tissue restoration takes time, but it is measurable and it is real. Here is your action plan. Step 1. This week, ask your doctor to add DHEA-S to your next blood panel. Use exactly those letters, DHEA-S. Step 2. Starting today, add 2 tablespoons of pumpkin seeds to your daily diet and increase your healthy fat intake. Step 3. Begin the 10-minute morning breathing practice. Set an alarm for 10 minutes before you need to get up and do it before you touch your phone. Step 4. Discuss ashwagandha, KSM66, and potential DHEA supplementation with your physician once your levels are known. Share this video with a woman who has been told her blood work is normal but does not feel normal. Leave me your comment. Never heard of it or check mine. I am Dr. William Harrison. Your fatigue, your flat mood, your missing desire, these are not character flaws. They are not inevitable aging. They are symptoms of a measurable, correctable deficiency that your doctor has simply not looked for yet. Now you know to ask. Let me leave you with one final thought. Helen, the patient I told you about earlier, came back to my office at her 12-week follow-up and said something that has stayed with me. She said, "For 2 years, I thought I was becoming someone else. Someone smaller, slower, less. I did not realize there was a biochemical reason for all of it. Having a reason and a solution gave me back something I did not know I had lost. Not just my energy, my sense of myself. That is what this is about. Not just restoring a number on a blood test. Restoring you. Your DHEA levels can be measured. They can be supported. And when they rise, so do you. I will see you in the next video. There is something else worth understanding about DHEA that most resources do not mention. DHEA does not work in isolation. It is part of an interconnected hormonal ecosystem. When DHEA begins to recover, even modestly, the downstream effects ripple through multiple systems simultaneously. Women report that their skin feels different. Their joints feel less stiff in the mornings. Their hair feels stronger. Their sleep becomes deeper and more restorative. These are not separate improvements happening coincidentally. They are the signatures of a single upstream hormone beginning to do its job again throughout the body. This is why restoring DHEA often feels qualitatively different from other health interventions. Because rather than fixing one symptom at a time, it begins to restore a systemic biological environment that supports well-being across multiple domains at once. The women who experience the most dramatic recoveries are those who combine all 3 protocol components: nutrition, stress management, and supplementation, rather than picking just one. Each component addresses a different aspect of adrenal function and DHEA synthesis. Together, they are significantly more powerful than any single intervention alone. Give your body the complete signal. Give it time to respond. And trust that the biology that built this problem can, with the right support, begin to reverse it.